interesting aspects coming in here from industry. But let me also welcome the Sherpa to the G20 and the former CEO of the NITI Aayog, Amitabh Kant, because as the finance minister pointed out, the budget is also aligning itself to India's aspirations of leading the G20 as the presidency of the G20 is with India. Mr. Kant, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC-TV18. The finance minister talked about India's G20 presidency and, of course, thrust on infrastructure, thrust on public capex continuing, inclusive development, health, education, 157 new nursing colleges, centers of excellence as far as artificial intelligence are concerned, and of course, mission mode on tourism. That was the big message that the finance minister has held out. Your first reaction, Mr. Kant?
So, Shireen, I think this is a budget truly for a new India. It's heavily focused on capital expenditure, 33% jump with 10 lakh crores. That's one part of the story. The other part of the story is that it's really going to, with all these exemptions and, on the tax side, it'll drive the consumption story of India, which is very, very important and significant. And thirdly, to my mind, the huge focus on urbanization, which is very, very important to my mind, and travel and tourism. These are key focuses. But I think the real highlight of this budget is really about going digital across the board. It's not sector specific, but across the economy, and going green across the economy, because it's about digitization and going green, which is going to really put India on an accelerated path of growth. And that is what this budget spells out. The tech transformation story of this budget is quite enormous in terms of energy storage, in terms of pump storage, in terms of battery storage, in terms of a whole range of new areas of growth, electric mobility, green hydrogen, all the sunrise areas of growth which will enable India to technologically pole vault in many ways. So that is really the defining feature of this budget.
Yes, there is a lot of thrust on the digital infrastructure, as I pointed out in the budget. But Mr. Kant, I also want to understand from you on tourism specifically, because that will be linked very closely, of course, to what we see happen as far as the G20 is concerned. I haven't seen the allocation just yet, but she's also talked about the need for greater public-private partnership in the tourism sector. What would you like to see happen from here on, now that it's been given mission mode status in the budget?
So two key things on travel and tourism. First and foremost, the budget talks about 50 key centers of growth which will be selected through a challenge route to drive growth. And second is about a very key strategy for promoting travel and tourism. The third one is about skill development in the travel and tourism sector, which is about really employment creation, because tourism has a multiplier impact. But the important thing about travel and tourism is that the expenditure that you make on capital, on infrastructure, gives it a huge thrust. So, 3 years in a row, you are focusing on airports, you're focusing on rail. I mean, look at 50 airports. Look at the huge amount of outlay you've provided to road and rail. That will have a massive, massive impact on travel and tourism in due course, and make India an outstanding country for domestic tourism, but also for international tourism. That is really the key. The infrastructure side of growth story of India will have a massive multiplier impact.
Mr. Kant, always a pleasure. Appreciate you joining us here on CNBC-TV18 with your quick take on the impact of Budget 2023. We will, of course, come back to you for further details. But Sanjeev Bajaj, Mr. Sinha and Mr. Puri, what I want to understand from you is on the disinvestment side, because there the expectation and the ask was that the government should bat higher. It's kept it at about 61,000 crore rupees, pretty similar to what we've seen. What do you make of that? And it also explains the fact that the government acknowledges that this is a complex exercise. It is a challenging exercise, and so it's mindful of not just putting